and get into our chin tucks and head turns first. So seated or standing, just really thinking of that length through the spine. We're going to tuck our chin back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Maintain that length. Head turns 5 per side. We're going to turn, come back to center, turn in the other direction, and back to center. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. And before we get into our formats on the timer, we're going to do one set of cat-cow for 10 repetitions. Okay, so we're going to arch and tuck. We can either do it from our seated position here, a little bit of space between our legs, or you can do it in that bent over position right here. Okay, and we're going to go for 10 reps. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Okay, so we are going to try a Tabata format today. And I'm just introducing it, so I'm only putting it at the beginning and the end. So it's going to count as our cardio in the beginning and the end of our workout. And then we're going to have a 24-minute block in the middle. Okay. All right. I think is it 8? Yeah. Yep. So what we're going to do first for our Tabata is it's a 4-minute long block. It is 20 seconds of work and 10 seconds of transition time in between, okay? So there's less, we usually do around 15 seconds, there's a little less, okay? And we are going to start with jumping jacks, okay? And remember, you can tap them out. My toe taps and touches the floor, okay? That's, I would say, level 1, or level 1 would be our seated variation, right? Right here, okay, with the arms. Level 2 would be a tap. Level 3 would be a flexed foot up. Okay, you're going to feel that a little deeper through here. You might go a little slower, but you'll feel more intensity. And level 4 is going to be your jumping jacks. You might want to, pepper through your jumping jacks. Okay, so any of those jumping jack variations, and also remember, if overhead hurts your hurts your shoulders, you can come out this way. Okay, and then we're going to pair that with just our high knee to ham curl, okay? We're gonna get those arms moving in both directions, okay? All right, so we're gonna do 20 seconds of one move, 10 seconds recovery, 20 seconds of the second move, 10 seconds recovery for 4 minutes through, okay? So let's get ready for our jumping jack. You can pick your seated or any of those standing varieties I showed you. Let's get ready in 3, 2, and 1. So here we go, it's only 20 seconds, so really give it your all, okay? Five more seconds here. Good. Time. Getting ready for our high knee to ham curl combination, seated or standing. Okay, ready? And begin. We only have 5 more seconds left, so you can see, you can kind of try to play with your intensity up here a little bit and time. We have 3 more rounds of that, okay? Excuse me, a little tickle in my throat. Back to jumping jacks. Here we go. 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Back to our knee raise and hammer curl combination. Ready? And begin. It's normal with these little short bursts here to feel a little more intensity, a little bit more breathy, because they're shorter bursts of work, and you end up being able to take your intensity up for a little bit because you're not going for as long. And time. Right now, I'm already starting to feel my heart rate elevate here. Okay. Going back to jumping jacks. This is top of round 3. All right. And begin. And remember, always get your drinks. Okay. You should be feeling like you're working around a 7 or maybe 8 with Tabata. Okay. You're really trying to give it your all. There are these shorter intervals. 2 and 1. Okay. Bottom of round 3, back to our knee raise and hand curl. 2 and 1. Here we go. And all those joints moving in the body, getting that blood flowing, getting the body temperature up and ready for the work to come. And time. One more round through, and that's our 4-minute Tabata, okay? Whew. Back to jumping jacks for the final time. Ready? Here we go. It's okay to feel slightly uncomfortable with Tabata, but you don't want to feel acute pain, remember. Little exercise discomfort's okay, though. And time, all done with those. Last round of our knee raise and ham curls. And 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Five seconds. And time. All right, guys. That is true Tabata format right there. Okay, we did it with 2 exercises. You could do it with 1 exercise, 2, 4 exercises. We will be finishing with that format as well. Now we're going to go into an 8 exercise, 45-15 block. So total body training, 8 exercises through. We're gonna roll the whole time, okay? We're gonna roll the whole time. All right, so our first exercise is going to look the same seated or standing. It is our T-fly with our internal and external rotation, okay? You can do this with a pair of lighter dumbbells or body weight, okay? You don't want to go too heavy. These muscles right here are very small supporting muscles. So, something too heavy is going to, make other muscles work instead of the ones we're trying to get to work, okay? So if your weights are too heavy, just do it without them, okay? Lunging, okay? Lunges, alternating lunges are next with the back of our chair, or our seated variety is our seated leg press, okay? Right here. After that, grapevine, still getting that grapevine in. After that, hinge and row, right? Hinge, row, okay? So have your weights. You can go a little bit heavier there. You can still do all of this body weight and just go through those motions and make the mind muscle connection as well, okay? After that, curl to press. Okay, we're gonna stay neutral with our grip. So that means that our knuckles face the walls out here the whole time through our curl and our press, okay? If overhead pressing is too much, you can just take it out, stick with the bicep curl, okay? After that, squats, sit squats, bicep curl march. Get that strong core connection going there. And then our last one is going to be a hinge, thumbs up. We're going to go I, thumbs out, T, thumbs in between, Y. Okay, so our body is literally, our arms are literally making an I shape, a T shape, and then a Y shape. And my thumbs are up the whole time, okay? So that's just a little brief what we're doing. I am going to do round one seated, okay, like normal. And then the other 2 rounds, I will switch to standing. So we are starting with our rear, our T-fly with our internal and external rotation. I'm going to start with a pair of 1s, and if that gets too cumbersome for me, I'm going to get rid of the weight, okay? Let's get ready in 3, 2, and 1. Look up, my phone didn't charge properly last night when I went to bed, so I woke up, I was like, oh no, I only have 5%. So I have it charged, but the closest I can get it, it's like across the room. So seated or standing, remember you're pulling those shoulder blades back and together, okay? This opening up right here is working those back muscles, the upper back muscles, posture muscles. Internal and external rotation is strengthening our shoulder and rotator cuff. All really important movements for healthy posture. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, our next exercise is alternating lunges. So you can hold on to the back of your chair, the side of your chair, or just have the chair right next to you, okay? All right, I'm going to be doing our seated leg press. So I'm closer towards the edge of the chair here so I can scoop and lean back. And I'm going to press through my heel, okay? And remember, if you're lunging, it's primarily that front leg that you're working, okay? So when that front leg is bent at the knee in your 90-degree angle, or whatever angle you're at, I should say, you're really, when you're trying to stand back up the straight, you're driving through the heel of that foot to help really feel that mind muscle connection through the glute. We have about 15 more seconds here. And time, okay. Moving right along, we are onto our grapevines, okay? So remember, that's step back, step tap, step back, step tap, okay? Here we go. I'm gonna be doing tap, tap for my seated variation. Get some arms involved while seated here, why not? We're going to our hinge and row next. So if you're using weights and you have like more than one pair, this would be your heavier weights. Or if you're just working with one pair, you're going to use those, or your water bottles, or just your mind muscle connection and do a body weight. We have 5 more seconds here. 2 and 1. Okay. So your weights if you're using them. For the seated variation, I'm just going to hinge right over here, and we're going to row, come up. Remember, this is combining an upper body and a lower body movement here, and both are targeting the back side of the body, okay? The hinge part is targeting the glutes and the hamstrings, and the row is targeting the lats and the biceps. Focus on feeling muscle contractions. You do that by dialing in and telling the muscles to squeeze. 2 and 1. Okay, moving to our oops. All right, curl to press next, okay? So curl to press is next. So if the overhead pressing is too much, you're just going to keep it to a regular bicep curl, okay? You take this press out. I'm keeping that neutral grip. So for both the bicep curl and the overhead press, my knuckles are facing either side. Remember, if you're standing, you're keeping your glutes engaged to prevent any excessive arching through the lower back as we press overhead. Protect the lower back. And if you find it just hurts no matter what, maybe try the seated variety because it really does take a lot of that lower back out of it. And time. Okay, so now we are going to our sit squats. Okay, so you can load up here if you'd like or do them body weight. And if you're going to do the seated variation with me, we're doing alternating leg extensions. Remember, for your sit squats, you're about hip width apart with the feet, okay? And you're really driving through the heels as you stand up, squeezing the glutes when you're standing there at the top. And for the seated variation, I'm really keeping my foot flexed and I'm really making my mind muscle connection to the front of my leg here so I can feel that contraction through the top of my thigh here, okay? Strengthening our quadriceps. And time on those. Next, we have our bicep curl and march. So remember, so now our knuckles are going to be down. We're going to be holding the grip for our bicep curl is different here. Okay, so instead of out to the side, it's like this. And remember, just a little stick it, all right? Just enough to feel that your body has found that core control before you switch legs, okay? Which that ITY hinge next, okay? So we're gonna hinge it down next. We're gonna do our thumbs up to an I, and we're gonna do them out to a T. We're gonna do them up to a Y, and then we return to our standing position. Yeah. And time on those, okay? So this one, body weight here, thumbs up, okay? I'm gonna do this one to the side. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what it's like to hinge from a chair here, okay? And here we go. We hinge, my thumbs come up to a Y, back down, out to a T, back down, up to a Y, back down. And then I come to a standing position again. And then right back down. I, T, Y. Goodness, we're back to the top for round two. And time. Okay, round two. We're going to move to standing for the next two rounds. We're back to the top, which is our rear delt T-fly with internal external rotation. So no weight or very lightweight, like pair ones or something like that. Okay, so here we go. We're going to pull out, in, up. Remember, if you feel any low back discomfort and you're standing, try the seated variation. And time. Okay, going to lunges. Okay, lunging is next. So warrior seated leg press. Okay, I'm going to use two hands and pull onto the back of my chair here. And begin. Back, go down, drive it up, return. Remember, when you're stepping back with your lunge, you want that space between the left foot and the right foot. Okay, you don't want to. You want to think of like when you think of railroad tracks. each foot would be on either side of the track. You wouldn't have both feet on the same side of the track when you're stepping backwards, okay? That's gonna help give you stability so you can focus on the muscle contractions itself instead of trying to find the balance, okay? And time. Okay, moving on to our grapevines, all right? Or you're gonna seat it, you're gonna do your lateral taps 2 times before you do the other. Let's get ready and begin. Nice one to shake the legs out with those lunges. We have 15 more seconds here. And then we go back to our hinge and bent over row combination. And time, okay. So, grabbing my weights if you're using them here, okay. We're gonna do our hinge and row, our feet are underneath our hips, toes are facing forward. We're gonna get ready to push our hips back, neutral spine, row it, and then squeeze the glutes to come back up, okay? Search for the connection, okay? When you tell your back muscles to engage, try to search for that feeling that you're telling the muscles to do. Same with the glutes and hamstrings as you squeeze to come back up to standing. We have curl to press coming up next in that neutral grip. Okay. So knuckles staying out to the side. We're going to curl, hamstring or bicep curl to overhead press. If the overhead press is painful, just stick with the bicep curl. Ready? Begin. Remember here, if you're standing, you're thinking of keeping those glutes engaged. Okay, that's going to prevent that lower back from swaying too much on you, especially as we're pressing weight over our head. Excellent. Going back to lower body next with our sit squats. With or without weight. And time. Okay, sit squats are next. Or you're going to do your alternating leg extension. Okay, my feet are about shoulder width apart, so a little bit wider than my hinge movement. Okay, I'm going to hold my weights. I'm just going to hold them right here. You can hold them here. You can hold them here. Or you can hold them here. Or not use them. It doesn't matter. Okay, wherever you want to hold them. I would say when you hold them up here, you're getting a little more core engagement. Pressing and driving through my heels, squeezing my glutes and legs at the top. All the way up. We have our bicep curl march next. Okay. Whew, seated or standing. Now we're going to switch the grip for our bicep curl this time. All right, this is with the knuckles facing the floor here. Okay. Here we go. We're going to just stick it just long enough till you feel that you have that control. Okay. That you engage the core, that you can stand on that one foot. Love this standing ab exercise. So good for the core and our balance. Time. Okay. We're going to put our weights aside if we're using them. Our hinge ITY is next. Okay. Hinge ITY. Get your drinks as you need them. All right. Here we go. My feet are about hip width apart. I'm pushing my hips back. Neutral spine. Thumbs up to I. Thumbs out to T. Thumbs out to Y. Now squeeze the glutes to come back up. Right back down. I. T. Thumbs out to Y. Squeeze the glutes to stand it up. Good. And time on that. Okay. Grab your drinks as you need it. We're back to the top. Our third round through. Okay. So we are starting with that rear delt T-fly internal external rotation with or without weight. Remember, just light weight here. Okay. Pull back. It's engaged. You're standing to help protect the lower back. Hopefully you're feeling that back, that upper back fire up here. Good. Lunges next. Time. Okay, so you pick how you're going to do your lunges here, holding on to the back of the chair, holding on to the side of the chair, or not holding on to it, or you're going to do your alternating seated leg press. Okay, here we go. So you can see when I step back, I still have that space between my left and right foot, right? I'll show you what you don't want to do. You don't want to like bring it back. So here now I'm like kind of like in like one straight line. That's going to affect your balance, and you're not going to be able to give as much attention to isolating and working the muscle. Okay. We're working on our balance pose with that bicep curl and that knee raise. So we're getting balance in there too. And time. I'm done with lunges. Grapevine is next, okay? Shake that out of the legs there. All right. And 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Remember, if you're seated, you're doing 2 lateral taps. Switching sides. Get those arms moving too. Halfway on this one. And we're going back to our hinge and row. Time. Woo. Okay, hinge and row is next. Understanding. Okay, again, if you have a weight selection, this one you'd probably choose your heavier set. Okay, bigger muscle groups. The last right here are the biggest muscle group in the upper body. Feet are underneath the hips. We're going to hinge, row, and squeeze the glutes up. Take a look at my back at the bottom end of my hinge when I'm rowing. See the neutral spine there, almost like you could set a tray on my back with a glass glass of water on it and it would stay filled. You're going to focus on that posture on your end range, which means really pushing your hips back towards the wall behind you and making sure your shoulders aren't rounding too much at the top here. You don't want to feel that curve in your spine. And time. Okay, curl to press. Remember, the overhead pressing is too much. You're just going to take it out, stick to the bicep curl. Okay, and we're going to stay in that neutral grip. Okay, so knuckles out to the side. Here we go. Curl, press, bring it back. Core is engaged, glutes are tucked. Final time doing these. Squats are next. Sit squats. Woo. And time. Okay. Sit squats or alternating leg extensions are next. Option to use the weight here. I'm going to opt for the weight up near my chest here. Okay. Go. Feet are about hip width apart, or shoulder width apart. Driving up through the glutes or through the heels to engage those glutes. Squeezing, squeeze, and squeeze. Okay. Back down. Squeezing, squeeze, and squeeze. All right. I can wiggle my toes when I'm doing that. Bicep curl march is next. And time. Excellent. Okay. Final set of that bicep curl and march, seated or standing. Either way, remember, we're just pausing for a second to feel that core control, okay? And the knuckles are facing down this time. Excellent. Woo. Okay, final one. Body weight, ITY hinge, okay? It's our last exercise. We will break after this before we get into our Tabata, all right? So here we go. Feet are underneath our hips. We're gonna hinge it back. Thumbs up to I, thumbs out to T, thumbs out to Y, drive it up. Again, I, T, Y, up. T, Y. That's time. Okay. All right, guys, take a break here. All right, we are going to, that was 24 minutes. All right, we're going to go back to another Tabata here. And I think we have time for 2 Tabatas here. So the first one we're going to do is 2 exercises, again, that 20-10 we're going to do our slip rope squat. Do you remember that one? Slip and slip. Okay, so you're there. There's that imaginary rope right here at your shoulder, right? And you have to go under it and over, under it and over. So you're just clearing the rope. Okay. All right. You get that lateral squat, and then we're going to pair that with our tricep and tap backs. Okay. That's going to be our first 4 minutes, and then we're going to finish. We have enough time. We're going to finish with what we started with. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. The 4 minute block here with our slip rope squats. And if you're seated, you're going to be doing, your feet are going to be wide, and you're just rolling over, going over the, just like this. Okay, so if you're seated, this is going to stay, your feet are going to stay stationary. And when you do your tricep tap backs, you can tap back just like so. Okay. All right. So have your weights handy. All right. Sometimes lighter is better. If you feel like you can't feel your triceps working, try a lighter weight. I know that sounds like counterintuitive, but sometimes when the weight's too heavy, you can't make the mind muscle connection because you're trying to manage the weight. Where if it's a little lighter, you have more control over it and you can connect your mind to it, okay? All right, slip rope squats. Let's get ready in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. So I'm going under the rope and over. Under and to the side. And time. Okay, tricep kickbacks with that tap back, okay? 3, 2, and 1. I'm adding on an extra Tabata today because we ended up having a little more time. So we're doing an upper body and a lower body combo with the slip rope squat, triceps, and time. Back to slip rope. Whew. 3, 2, and 1. Go in a piece that feels good for you. But remember, with these shorter bursts of time, we are trying to push ourselves a little bit more because we're going for less than half the time we were in the other one. And time. All right. Tricep, kick back and tap back. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. So really, when my arms are lengthened, right here, I'm squeezing, talking to the back of my arm. About 80% of your weight is in the front foot as you tap back the other 20%. And time. Back to our slip rope squats. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Right? Make sure you clear that rope. You move on your head on it, you gotta go a little low. Two, and 1. Okay, back to those tricep tap backs. And 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. That's time. All right, final set of each. Okay, final set of each. Slip rope squat for the last time. Here we go. Get that lateral step. We get that hinge motion by clearing the rope. Really firing up the glutes and the glute beads. Time, all done with those. Last set of our tricep kickbacks and tap backs. We'll take a rest, and then we're going to finish with what we started with, okay? All right, here we go. 3, 2, and one. And time. Okay. That was our surprise Tabata I just added in. So go ahead and rest. Get a drink. Okay. Take a minute rest. And then we're going to do that one more time with what we started. So remember, it's our jumping jack variety, whatever kind of jumping jacks you want to do here. You're seated all the way up to your regular jumping jacks. Okay. And then we have our knee high to ham curl, really trying to get those arms moving, whether you're seated or standing, okay? All right, we get one more drink. We're gonna get started, okay? The goal here is we just wanna kind of elevate our heart rate one last time. You wanna feel like you're working around a 7 or 8. Okay, that's usually a little higher than I say, so it's a shorter time frame of work altogether though. So let's try to push ourselves to finish off here, starting with our jumping jacks in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. I'm opting for that flexed foot variety here. Remember, you can also tap the foot to take it down a notch. Okay. Or you can take it up a notch by jumping all the way. 2 and 1. Okay. Knee high to ham curl. Get those arms moving. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, 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 exhale. Standing abs, these knee raises. And time. Woo. Okay. Back to our jumping jacks. All right. And remember, if you have to change your arms, if your shoulders are hurting from going overhead, change them to back. Okay, here we go. Do a couple regular. 2, 2, and 1. Okay. Back to those knee raises and ham curls in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Don't let the clock stop you from getting your drinks if you need it, right? Three, 2, and 1. Okay. Halfway, we've got 2 more rounds of those 2 exercises. So back to our third set of jumping jacks. Ready? Here we go. Ten more seconds. Woo. Start to feel it the second half. And time. Back to our knee raise, the ham curl combo. In 5, 3, 2, and 1. 3 seconds. 2, and 1. All right, final round through, guys, and we are done. Okay, it should feel a little uncomfortable, hopefully. Okay, just a little, you know, like you're working, you feel your heart rate up. Here we go, jacks. As long as you feel strong, push yourself, okay, outside your comfort zone. As long as you feel confident, okay. If you're still feeling like you're in this newer, you know, still learning phase of the movements, then do it at a quality controlled pace. Okay, time. But if this is something that you're used to and you've been doing a long time, it's okay to try to push that intensity. Here we go, last 20 seconds. time. Woo, nice work, guys. Okay, recover, okay? Get a drink. Hopefully you feel a little hot, sweaty. I know I do. We're gonna cool down now, okay? So a couple just inhales and exhales here. And then we're just gonna start with our neck and trap, okay? I'm just gonna kind of press down with my fingertips. I can grab onto the head gently here. Just feel that nice deep stretch all along this side here. And let's bring that up to center. And same thing other side. Good. All right, let's take the back of our chair here. If you're standing here, and let's do a forward fold over the back of the chair here. I'm just gonna reach my hands forward so you see I'm at like a 90-degree bend. My knees are not locked out, but they're relatively straight. You can even rock the hips from side to side and see how that helps stretch out your lower back on either side there. Not forcing anything, just trying to release. And then let's go ahead and gently walk ourselves back up to standing here. Okay, let's do the front of our chest here by taking our palms. You can do the seated or standing onto the lower back here for support. And then I'm gonna pretend like my elbows can touch each other, right? And lift my heart to ceiling, okay? The chest is going up towards the ceiling. Your head can go wherever it feels good. Okay, if you wanna look up, if you wanna look straight, even if you wanna look down. The main thing is you should feel this across the chest, in the front of the shoulders, and in your forearms as well, as you're holding onto your lower back there. Good. And release. Let's go ahead and roll the shoulders forward for 3, 2, 1, and reverse. Roll them back. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let's finish off with a hamstring stretch for the legs here. Okay. All right. 1 second. Okay, there. Okay, sorry. That's a phone call. When the phone calls go through, I lose my screen. Here we go. So we're just going to kick our leg up onto the chair and get a stretch through the back of the leg. If this is too much intensity or you can't lift your leg up, you prefer the seated variety. Remember, what we can do here is we can just stay seated in our chair. I'm a little bit closer to the edge, but not so much I feel like I'm going to fall off when I tip forward, and I'm just reaching this way, okay? So this is our seated variety here. And when you're ready, let's go ahead and switch up to the other side. Okay, so this good. Bring it back up. And we'll close out with 2 deep breaths here. We're going to go ahead. We're going to inhale. Palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. And one more time. Big inhale. Exhale, palms to heart.